When you're trying to reach a weight loss goal and you're very motivated, one of the easiest ways to track your progress, of course, is to weigh yourself. Most of us own a bathroom scale, so you can just quickly jump on and see what your progress is like. But I've seen a lot of clients get quite frustrated with the scale, especially if they get on the scale multiple times in a day, or at least every single day. There's quite a lot of weight fluctuations happening, and then that causes a lot of frustration and confusion, and often leads to clients not doing their diet plan anymore, or stopping with exercise, or chopping and changing in between diets without really giving that specific eating plan or diet plan, or whatever the case may be, a real chance at changing the body composition. So we've spoken about not just looking at weight on its own in terms of your progress, because we see that muscles and fat mass and so forth play such a big role in terms of our body composition, which is a lot more important for our health and fitness goals overall. But let's say you only have a scale to your available to you, and you do want to weigh yourself. I thought I'd talk about a few things that can cause weight fluctuations, which may lead to some frustration, but these things aren't things that will lead to a permanent weight change, for example. So maybe the scale might be increased and you feel like, oh my word, I've been following my eating plan and I've been doing what I should, but my weight's going up. It's not necessarily going to be permanent, it's just certain things happening in the body. So hopefully this will make you feel a little bit more calm and at ease when you do get on the scale. So first of all, like, my conclusion always is to not get on the scale too often. Maybe leave it to once a week. Don't do it every single day. Definitely don't do it multiple times a day. The best time to weigh yourself is first thing in the morning, after you've been to the toilet, with minimal clothes on, at the same time more or less, so that you can compare it to the previous weigh-ins, so that you don't get other factors that may influence it. Okay, so first of all, one of the first things that can actually have an impact on your weight, and it's very obvious, but it is food. If you've eaten something now and you get on the scale, it's definitely going to have an effect, because there's physically something in your stomach, so that's going to actually affect your scale. So the second one is salt. Okay, so if you've had a meal or snack or something that's very high in salt, it may lead to water retention. So water follows salt in the body, so that may lead to an increase in weight, but it's mainly water weight. Again, not permanent, but it may actually have an impact on the number on the scale. The next one is carbs. This is a very common one where I've seen people say, no, they just look at a slice of bread and then they pick up weight, or they just look at cake and they pick up weight. And this is the reason, because carbohydrates actually contain glucose, which then fills up the glycogen stores in our body. And for every 1 gram of glycogen, 3 grams of water is stored. So you can see how, again, it's just mainly water weight. It's not really fat mass. Again, it's not permanent. It's actually good because it's hydration. And that's also often what we see with people that are training or athletes, or maybe doing some carbohydrate loading before an event, where you see that you've picked up weight, but it's mainly water weight, which again is not permanent. The next one is hormones. We've spoken a lot about hormones, but the two hormones that are mainly involved in fluctuations in weight is cortisol and your progesterone, especially in women. Progesterone, especially before your period, if you are having one, and that again is because of water fluctuations and water retention in the body. So there's a lot of things that we see can actually lead to weight fluctuations, mainly because of water. So it's mainly water retention or water loss that leads to differences in weight. So try not to beat yourself up if you get on the scale too often and you see a big fluctuation. Maybe think about, did I have something very salty, or did I have a very carb heavy meal? Or is maybe that time of the month, or am I very stressed, or whatever the case may be? It's probably just water weight. So I hope this has been helpful. Let us know if you have any questions, and we'll see you in the next one.